Alright, so I figured now would be a good time to make a new up-to-date guide for all the skips and unrestricted. I'm gonna try to do this all at once, so I'm gonna have the trainer open to show coordinates, but you really only need that for sleep paralysis. So yeah, let's get into it. The first one is nap skip, and the older way of doing it is just more complicated. Like, there's not really as much to it as it seems. I'm just going to interact with the cat friends here from right to left like normal. Now, once you interact with the black cat, the last one, instead of going to lay down, you're going to line yourself up with the wall here. Kind of, there's like a little line you can see behind like where the black cat's tail is at. Kind of want to go a little bit in front of that. There's like a little indentation right here. You can see where my cursor's at. Where these really big leaves are at too. So, sit up however you want to. I like to turn around so I can get a good angle. Now I'm right here. I'm slightly to the right of that indentation. Now, as soon as this interact prompt comes up, you can do it, but I'm just going to wait. Just going to run up the wall like this to the left until the interact pops up. Make sure you go as far as you possibly can to the left, or you'll actually go lay down. Hit interact. You won't be able to make it. I'm going to spin in circles, which is going to skip the first cutscene. Now, this part, all you really need to do is, what I like to do is line up with, there's just two little grates out here. I'm going to run close to this pipe right here. Hold W, sprint, and then once you get to a stopping point, you're going to hold D as well. So like this, get close, hold D, you're going to fall. Now there's a small chance that you can clip out. We're not sure why, but if it does, you do have to just reset from main menu. Now here, I like to line up with this line in the wall, and make sure the last button that you hit is A. That way when you do a 180 with S, the cat will turn to the left, which is what you need to get back into the map. Now do that, hit A, do a 180, there you are. Now, you want to, these roots will really slow you down. You want to avoid, like so, as you can see there. You want to avoid getting too close to any of these cats, or you will trigger the cutscene, which you don't want, obviously. So next is this little bucket skip here in Dead City, which we used to think saved like a second, but it actually saves like barely anything, like a few milliseconds. But in my opinion, it's actually easier to do than the other way, and it's, you get style points. So you're going to run close to the barrel and also close to the edge, and keep interacting with it like so. You're going to spam interact so you can get it as it's falling, and then you'll fall with it. Most time you land on the bed, but sometimes you can land down here, which is really fast. Bed skip. But yeah, that's about it for that one. Alright, so the next thing we have is cutscene skips. There are 4 cutscene skips, with the first one being the hardest. Now, using the macro, you should already have your meowing and skip text on the same button. I'm going to add a third option for the help, which I have as my mouse side button, as you can see here. It's showing that I'm hitting up on scroll wheel, but it's actually my side button because it's on the macro. So what you're going to do is, when you get to the cutscene trigger, you're just going to hold that button, and it's going to allow B12 to come out. And if you have help activated when you're on the trigger, the cutscene will not play. So this first one, even though it's the hardest, there's a pretty good setup. There's a bottle right here, and just run kind of parallel to it. Right before you get to the bottle, you're going to hold that help button. You can even kind of buffer it like that if you need to. Now, make sure for this one, make sure you got to put the postcard, or you will be stuck later on. You'll be completely soft locked. Just don't forget that. Alright, so sleep paralysis. I already made a little short video on this, but gonna go over it again really fast. Now, it doesn't matter if you're on 30 or 60 for this first door clip, as long as you're on the left or right side and interact twice really fast. You can't be in the middle. You have to wiggle sometimes. That usually isn't that bad, but now I do recommend resetting checkpoint, but you don't have to, because you know we can do it in ILs without that. But when you're first starting out, resetting the checkpoint definitely helps keep the camera where it's like supposed to be. But it is definitely still possible without that. Now make sure you're on 30. Alright, so you're gonna go up here, go to the left as far as you possibly can, and use W and D to turn around, or turn the cat until it cannot turn anymore, basically. You're gonna take a tiny step with D. You're gonna tap D very gently, like that. Where your X coordinate is on 282, use his trainer to see that. Tap S to turn around. I'm going to zoom into the circle here. That's a good lineup for it. Now you're going to hold S and shift. Hit D and jump at the exact same time while you're holding both of those. Keep holding S and shift and then jump, and then you're in the building here. And you still have to scratch the blinds here. But this way is much simpler. The other way is very complex. You have to go out the back, to the left of the wall. No need for that anymore though. You're gonna do this like normal, clip to the left of this guy's legs. Try to avoid this plank because it will slow the cat down. Try to get this pipe to the bottom right of your screen, to where you're above the cardboard here. Switch to 60. Just make sure you don't land in the water because you'll clip through. The checkpoint trigger is here, so you want to land to next to this window as much as you can, but you can still land anywhere else and just get it. As long as you get the checkpoint. You could even fall out of the map, and as long as you get the checkpoint, you're still good. Now you're going to make sure you have to reset from the main menu. Reset sewers, or you will not be able to progress the game. You'll get soft locked, very important. Alright, that's another explanation of that. Alright, so next up we have Water Run, the most infamous clip, or I call it coin flip. It's basically a 50-50. It seems like no matter how good you set it up, there's still a chance that it just half the time will not work. Now, this is how you would normally go here, but when you're first starting out, you can get a much closer checkpoint here, which is right here, instead of having to reset all the way back there if you fail it. And the good thing is too, you don't even really need to go for this at start, because you can still get a pretty good time without Water Run. But yeah, this checkpoint definitely will save you for some time at the start, especially if you're failing it a bunch. Now you're gonna see under me on this pipe there's a little L shape right at my back right paw. Now you can either just hit W and jump, or you can hit W and then D right after. It doesn't really matter. Jump on this barrel from here. Now once you're here, don't move, stay still. You want to zoom in, try to go somewhere in between these two pipes is what I like to go for. Make sure you're holding sprint and W. Then once you're like this, letting the line up, let go of the zoom. You're going to be teleported back here, and then you're going to just jump on the barrel. Now, like I said, there's a half a chance you can do it just like that, and it just won't work. We don't really know why, unfortunately. Now, the easiest way to get, and the fastest way to get through here, just run straight up and do it till you can't no more. Do some quick movement circles, WASD, really quick. Or in that case, just one. If you want to just hit WASD, WASD, you'll eventually clip through. Here you got to be careful not to jump back in the map. You want to kind of hit W and A until you See the jump prompt here, which I apparently missed. Right there it is. Now you're up here. You're still in this kind of under like no clip state. You can either go left here or right, doesn't really matter. Just make sure you don't go too far that way or you'll clip out of the map. Now here, you don't want to be pressing any directions. You want to just jump, or else you will clip out. Checkpoint, reset it. Now I'm going to also show quickly what happens if you do clip out by accident there, and there is a way to fix it. There's a backup. Now I'm going to also show what it looks like if you were to fail water run, and I'm going to do this checkpoint because it's closer. So you basically do it right and it just doesn't work, which from my experience is pretty much like a 50-50 basically. You're going to do the setup like normal. You try to jump on the barrel, it's just going to put you back here. And now you might be asking, why can't you just try it again without resetting checkpoint? Well, you're now stuck on this pipe. No matter where you go, you can move on the pipe, but it's just going to teleport you back every time. So in that case, just reset checkpoint, try it again. Alright, so one more time here. Try to have my back right foot in a little L shape. Hit W and jump on the barrel. Zoom in between these, hold W and shift. Let go, jump back on it. Go here again until we can't move anymore. Hit WASD until it works. See here it's taken more than one time, which is kind of what I wanted to happen. Show, now just, yeah, see there, that's a better way of showing that. Don't want to go too far, just hit W and A until the little jump prompt pops up. Now what happens if you're here and you somehow clip out, which can happen, it can definitely happen. Say you're here, what? Alright, so let's say you're in this part and you somehow get here, which can happen, you can clip out by accident. Now if you're out here, it's not entirely over. Luckily there's a way to get back in. There is a moss, there's moss everywhere, but there's one specific moss that you can line up with. It's this one right here. I'm going to try to get as straight into it as you can. Just hold W and look up and jump. Now you're here. Still not back in the map, but you can get just close enough to get the checkpoint trigger. How nice is that? So convenient. And you're back like normal, so that can save you if you ever clip out by accident there. Alright, so next I'm going to go over a somewhat newer strat. It's never really been completely explained before in a video. A console runner, Kuwanger, he found out that you don't actually have to quit out from the main menu after water run like you have to do in sleep paralysis. So what he discovered is after this chase sequence, this little cutscene, you're going to be seeing B12 on the ground. You're going to wait until the cat touches him. Wait until it gives him a little tap with his paw. Right there. You have to wait until he does that or it won't work. Just like reactivates the B12. Because what we did in Water Run, we skipped a cutscene where he's supposed to be deactivated, but we still have him. Anyway, if you touch him like that, reset checkpoint, he's fixed. Now before we would have to quit out to the main menu, so doing it this way saves about 7 or 8 seconds. And now B12 will still be working, which would need him right after an ant village for another cutscene skip. Alright, so second cutscene skip, ant village. As you can see, B12 is still working after the last trick. This line right here, this line on this water rectangular piece of piece of wood here, that's where the cutscene trigger is. So run over it, hold the button to activate the help. There you go. Now another thing is, once you get up here, make sure you activate him again, just like that, jumping off this light, or else he will keep repeating dialogue forever, pretty much. We don't want that to happen. That will fix him. Alright, so now we're in Midtown, where there's actually quite a bit of stuff we can do. First off, this is the third cutscene skip, and this one seems to have the biggest, like, trigger range. It's really, like, the hardest to mess up. Near the top of the stairs, not the very top, but, like, near the top of the stairs. Go ahead and hold the macro for help. There you go. That one's really hard to mess up, it seems like. And next we're going to do what's called Cat in the Hat. We'd have to normally, you know, have the guy slowly walk and carry us in the box to get the hat. I'm going to cut all that entire section out. We're going to run up to the side of the grate here, this little place the hat's in. I'm going to kind of run parallel to it, which I like to line my cursor up to this cardboard right here. To the left of this cardboard, about like that. That's just about as parallel as you can get. Now turn to where you're kind of centered, like this, like the cat's centered. And just tap D and interact, hit interact. And there you go. You just open this from the outside. Take the hat. Ta-da. Now that does mean you need to actually get these cameras first, because you would normally do it waiting for the guy to put you in the box, but now you want to be doing it on the way up here. Now this is also something that's probably already been explained, but I'm just going to do it anyway. So when interacting with this guy, as you're giving him the hat and jacket here, you kind of hold W or W and A to get to the box before it fades to black. Like this. Then you give it to him. Spam jump, then you're in. Very simple, saves about a second. You can do that in glitchless too. I just wanted to include that while I was here. Alright, so next up here we have Cat Jam Skip. I'm just going to skip the entire nightclub. We're not going to be locked up. We're not going to lose B12 going into jail, which is very nice. It's going to save a lot of time in jail. No. If you accidentally do go into the nightclub, and it's over, because you want to get the checkpoint by jumping on this pipe from the window to make it think that you're in there, which is going to deload the area out here. We're going to talk to this guy like normal. We're going to jump in the window. Do not go in there, though. Have the cat go as far to the right as it possibly can to this window, where you can't see. I'm tapping D. I can't go anymore. Once you're like that, look in the middle of this windowsill as you can. Tap W. Then you're going to hit W, A, and space to do the jump, like so. If you did it correctly, you will get the checkpoint. And he closed the window, which means he thinks that we're in there now. So the fastest route down is just from this pipe to here. Now there's two different ways of doing this, and I'm going to show both right here. What you should do when starting out, because it will basically never fail. Once you jump over this little sign and here, there's a little patch of dirt. You're going to start to the left of it, just hold W into it, and you'll fall right up here. And this will always work, so if this is 100% consistent when you're first starting out, you should definitely go for it. Now, if you want to get a little bit more crazy, or you're just getting better times, there's a save thing up here. It saves about 7 or 8 seconds. So we're going to just ignore this. We're going to try to get as close to the edge, the straight line here. See, going to get as close to that as we can without actually hitting it. Because if we hit it, then the cat will just kind of glitch around like this. We don't want that. We want to be really close to it, really parallel to it without that actually happening. Now, I like to turn my camera to the side so I can see where I'm actually going, I guess. So you'll see right under the cat's head, there's 2 little indentions. Now, I like to put the front paws either on the first one or in the center. Then you're going to just hold S once you're in that position. And you fill in this barrel. Now, if you don't do the setup like that every time, then it's not going to work. This barrel has a very small hitbox. I'll do that again just to show. Now, you can also do it. It doesn't matter which way your camera is. That's just the way I prefer doing it. You can also do it like this, but then it's if you're looking straight, it's harder to see where your feet are at. So you're going to get here. I think the center is about where you want to be. Seems to work the most. Have the cat's 2 front paws in the center. Now see, this is what happens if you're not close enough to the edge. You're going to just kind of glitch out. So that's why I said it's very important that you be very close to the edge without actually having it do that. Let's try that again. We're in the center. There we go. Now we're in gel with B12. Now what does that do? You might ask, having B12 already here. As we all know, Clementine has terrible AI. But actually works better when you have B12. We're going to interact with her. Alright, for the last part, there is there is a little carousel skip to the door, skip a puzzle. And the way of doing the terminals, I'm going to show you the easiest, most optimal way of doing it. We're going to be skipping, or not skipping a cutscene, but we're going to be having 2 cutscenes play at the same time by doing the terminals in a certain order. Now firstly, if you run parallel to the stairs, you can get a little speed boost. This is the only stairs where this seems to work. The speed can vary also. You can go much faster than that sometimes if you're lucky, it seems like. Now, interact with this carousel like normal. Bring it to the door. Bring it close to you. You're going to turn around, you're going to kind of push it towards the door until it's about halfway in it. Jump on it. Well, you gotta jump a little bit earlier than that. That's what happens if you wait too long. Jump on it, hold A to make it turn. It's gonna clip you right in, just like that. Now, the last cutscene is on this line. It's on the perfect yellow line for you. Just showing you it's right here. Interact with help. There you go. Last cutscene skipped. What we're going to do is we're going to open, scratch open the first one to our left, but we're not going to deactivate it yet, and that's very important. And you'll see why here in a second. I'm going to go straight for the left one here. Open it up. And do not deactivate it yet. This is part of the cutscene overlap here. What we're going to do is, when we scratch open this one, we're going to activate it right away, like so. And then we're going to have this text on our screen right after we do this. Now we're going to leave this text on our screen as we turn around. We're going to get close enough to that other terminal so we can activate it just before the cutscene plays. So that way we're going to have this cutscene and the other one at the exact same time. We're going to get... Now, this you can kind of play around with. You don't need to get as close as I do here. I'm just doing this for the purpose of showing you. So exit out of the thing. Interact with it right there. About last second. I got both of these playing at the same time. There you go. That way you don't have to watch both cutscenes. Just kind of have them right on top of each other.